Today's video, we will talk all about the two biggest crypto sectors that I am very bullish on going into the Bitcoin halving. Now, these are not going to be your typical, AI, gaming, something everyone already knows. Sure, those sectors will do well if Bitcoin halving turns out to be very bullish in the immediate short term and the entire market rallies. However, there are two significant launches around very big tailwinds that can push specifically two sectors forward, and we will talk about them today. And as you can see in the thumbnail, I'll just give you guys really quick mentions of what they are before we start. So the number one is zkSync. This is imminently about to launch. And then number two is the Bitcoin Runes protocol, which you probably have heard of somewhere around CT noises, but we'll get into exactly what this is and why this is super bullish going to the Bitcoin halving event. Okay, if you're new here to the channel, welcome. My name is Dennis. I'm a crypto angel investor for the past 5 years, and I have invested in over 100 crypto companies. Here on this channel, we share views on market trends and investing strategy to build wealth in crypto. Okay, so let's get into these two narratives. Number one is going to be, let's look at just really briefly how long the Bitcoin halving is far out. So we are only 7 days and 12 hours to go, just over 1 week. And once the Bitcoin halving event happens, it's anyone's guess, right? So if you're really looking for a little bit of overall analysis on how the Bitcoin halving event will affect Bitcoin's price, make sure to check our last live stream that we did 2 days ago with the Bitcoin halving price prediction. Here in this video, I went through the whole analysis of how the Bitcoin halving actually impacts price and versus the cycle length. And we looked at the previous 3 halving cycles and how each of those have played out compared to this one when it comes to Bitcoin halvings, when it happened and where Bitcoin price was trading relatively to previous all-time high and the next cycle top. Okay, so now that the halving is so close, there are two narratives, right? Number one is going to be zkSync. So why am I so bullish on zkSync this month? You probably haven't heard of anyone else really pushing zkSync to be bullish this month on Twitter, on YouTube, etc. But I really think this is something I found to be unique because from all the signs that I have gathered, talking to the teams on zkSync, following their social media, I'm getting very, very tingling senses that zkSync's token launch is going to be this month. I think the signs are really lining up, and I have covered why I think this is the reason in our last live stream. So on our zkSync airdrop guide, which you should definitely check out. This is 2 weeks old. I think the cutoff for zkSync snapshot is going to be like whether this week or next week. It's going to be very, very soon. So in this video, I explained why, and I'll just go over really briefly again. So a couple reasons why I think zkSync airdrop is launching very soon. The founder of zkSync has been teasing nonstop, right? They have done massive work in the past year with zkSync era mainnet, and in April, end of April, was actually the 1-year anniversary of zkSync's mainnet. So you can see March 24th, April 2023, March 24th, 2024. And then the biggest upgrade that impacts zkSync the most, the Ethereum Denkun upgrade, also went live in March. This reduced all layer 2 transaction costs by 10 to 100x. Now, for Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, etc., that's not that significant because those guys, the fees were already quite cheap, a few cents at a time. Whereas on zkSync and on other zk rollups, the fees used to be like 20 cents-ish for a swap, and now those numbers have been reduced all the way down to less, like 1 cent, right? So you see this comparison here. Once you get below 1 cent, it starts to be super comparable to optimistic rollups, because sure, like Arbitrum says, like our cost is now 0.1 cent. zkSync era is 1 cent. People don't feel the difference anymore. right? So this is why they really wanted to wait until this is done before they push out huge, events and launches, so that people coming into the network don't get bogged down by this gas problem. And the biggest ecosystem projects on zkSync are all about to launch. So we have, of course, Gravity Exchange, GRVT. I have been plugging this nonstop for the past 3 to 4 months on the channel. You can find the sign up link for referral with the link in the description for the airdrop. Now, their campaign, if I can just show you really quick here, let me try to log in. So their campaign, you see these tasks, right? These 5 tasks here are the main ones that they have been releasing for the past 2 months. And you see the last task is about to launch. So once this last task launches, most likely they are going to reveal something, right? The first wave of mystery box will be revealed quite soon. And I am in touch with the Gravity Exchange team. I've been working with them as partners for the past 5 months. And they have given me very loose timelines, and not for zkSync specifically, but for themselves. And they have even said that, okay, you can follow this on their socials. This is public info. So March 19th, right, is their closed beta launch. This is when they launch their beta. And then this is essentially what they're expecting huge amount of traction to come in to zkSync very soon. You see their trading challenge is starting to come out. And this is a refresher. Gravity Exchange is the first hyperchain product launched on zkSync, zk Stack right here. This is their hyperchain initiative, which is a way for different teams to launch application chains on top of zkSync with their own sort of layer 3. They call it hyperchain. And the first partner to launch on here is Gravity. Now, there are a couple more that I think are potentially launching quite soon, which, let me see. Yeah, so another major ecosystem product on zkSync is Zerolend. These guys are also super, super close to launch. You see here, they launched their last wave of airdrop campaign starting from April 10th, so 2 days ago. So they're giving out 5% of the zero token supply right before TGE, right? So why would they be doing a TGE if their main network is not doing a launch quite soon, right? So these guys definitely know much more information than I do. And the fact that they are pushing themselves massively, you see here, their pre-markets are also launching. This tells me that zkSync is very close, probably just after these guys launch their token. And if you are curious of other ecosystem projects on zkSync, I'll just show you here really quick. So you can go on DeFi Llama and you can look up chains and go to zkSync era right here and look at the top protocols on here, right? So we have the #1 decentralized exchange, SyncSwap. This doesn't have a token yet. This will be one of the best bets when their token launches. But the 2 other leading protocols, we have Zerolend, right? The #1 decentral lending protocol. And then Koi Finance, this is one that we're going to mention a lot right after. So you see the fact that these guys are all launching and doing major rebrands, especially for Koi Finance, shows me that something is about to drop very soon for zkSync. So that is why zkSync is the first sector in crypto that I am betting heavily on this month, right after the Bitcoin halving. It's not going to be directly related to what happens in the Bitcoin halving, but the timing matches up perfectly. So right after the Bitcoin halving, I really believe zkSync is about to launch. Now, the current numbers on zkSync era might not look like much, right? $168 million TVL for you. But keep in mind, this is going to be the #1 ZK project in the space. The only other ones we have, Polygon, zkEVM, I have been historically bullish on them, but they just don't push out anything significant, and their price just lags behind everything. So that's kind of, I'm writing that off now. We have Starknet, which is already at 20 billion FDV, but their adoption is way less than zkSync. We also have like things like, Polyhedra. We have like zkLink. Those guys are like very fresh projects that are not comparable. So I really think the three main zk rollup chains that are actually significant. Number one is zkSync. I would say number two is Linea. Linea is developed by Consensus, which is just equally as big. So Linea, definitely something to watch, but probably will be later down, second half of the year, probably not going to be launched very soon. And then we have the other one, which is Scroll, if I can find it right here. Scroll is also probably going to be launching their token sometime later this year. So this is why I think zkSync is the main focus right now. Okay, so now that we gotten that out of the way, how do you actually bet on this, right? If you still haven't joined Gravity Exchange and used the bridge and etc., you should definitely do that. Check out this video for how you can get the zkSync airdrop, probably snapshot very, very soon. However, if you want just immediate exposure for some coins to buy, here it is. So on the zkSync ecosystem right now, ranking by total value locked, there is barely any coins out there that you can buy. So the main one that I am buying very heavily is Koi Finance. So Koi Finance is a rebrand from a previous project you might have heard of called Mute. So Mute is this, look at this chart. This is a 3-year-long project that launched way back in March 2021. And this project from day one was native to zkSync. So Mute first launched when zkSync was in its V1 version, the zkSync Lite version. And they were one of the first decentralized exchanges to launch on zkSync. I think the other one is Zigzag, but that one's like not being worked on anymore. So Mute is now the only player. And the fact that this has been trading for so long, and the fact that it has been 3 years and people already know, like everyone that has made a zkSync like video in the past 3 years, they will have seen that Mute is the first exchange launched on zkSync. And now they are live on zkSync Era, right? So they have been live on zkSync Era for the past year since their mainnet. And check this out. They have just gone through a rebrand into Koi with a token swap conversion of 1 Mute to 12.5 Koi. There are details in this announcement, and you can see this announcement was very short time ago, February 29th. So 1.5 months ago, they did this. And this is also very clearly they want to refresh their brand leading up to the token launch of zkSync, so they can be treated as this next generation project instead of a legacy project, which is real, right? The fact that they're able to follow up on zkSync for this 3-year period and actually launch on their Era mainnet, this is the main project I'm betting on zkSync Era right now. Not because like I think they're like all superior to SyncSwap or anything, but just the fact that when you look on this list, there's nothing else, right? Zerolend token, you can bet on this. You can try to farm this airdrop. I think they'll do really well. SyncSwap, once that token comes live, sure, that's going to be another major thing to bet on. But I think these things will be launching like very close in around the same time as zkSync token itself. So that's why, like you gotta like consider, okay, are they going to outperform the zkSync token itself? Whereas for Koi, in my view, they are the only project right now that is live on zkSync Era with a fresh rebrand following leading up to zkSync Era mainnet launch. So they're definitely in that close group. And look at this, like fully diluted market cap, $54 million. That's barely nothing, right? When you compare this to some of the newer coins that will launch, Zerolend, I think like OTC market for that is trading at like 500 million plus already. SyncSwap also, I don't think there's a market for this, but once it launches, it'll at least be like 200-300 million market cap simply because it's a new coin and the circulating supply will be much lower than the fully diluted valuation. So that's why when you consider Koi, sure, they did a rebrand, right, from Mute, and Mute market cap was at around 25 million. So they basically diluted everyone by 2x. So the Mute supply is able to be converted to half of the supply of the Koi Finance coin, but the other half is kind of extra supply that they made. But still, these metrics are going to be way better than all of the other like fresh zkSync coins that we'll see later this month. So this is why there's only one coin that I have bought a lot of on zkSync era mainnet, and that's Koi Finance. Okay, so that's that. And you can find this already on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and this also, you have to buy it on zkSync. You can buy it on Mute Exchange or Koi Exchange. They're actually the same thing. And this will force you to actually bridge onto zkSync and get your money ready and learn how to use the chain. Definitely go through this step if you want to get in the grounds of zkSync day one when the token launches. All right, so that's the zkSync sector. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if my prediction is right and if zkSync token launches this month. We only have like 20 days to go, so I'm decently confident, but let's see. Refer back to this video if it actually launches this month. Okay, so that's that. And then the second narrative that everyone should really be focusing on right now is the Runes protocol on Bitcoin. So you probably have heard of this one way through another. You might have heard of like, you definitely have heard of ordinals or BRC20 tokens on Bitcoin. And Runes protocol is essentially the next generation of inscriptions protocol on Bitcoin that is specifically made for tokens. Now you might say, okay, how does this differ from BRC20? Like, why is this so bullish? Don't we already have Bitcoin ordinals and a bunch of shitcoins trading on Bitcoin? Yes, but let me explain the key difference here. So Runes protocol is created by the inventor of the ordinals protocol, Casey Rodemar, right? So this guy, you should definitely follow him on Twitter. So you see here, he tweets out all the latest upgrades for ordinals. He's the main developer, and also the Runes protocol. So somewhere down here, you can follow all this. So what Runes is essentially a new fungible token standard directly sitting on top of Bitcoin Layer 1 blockchain. And it's a fresh method to issue fungible tokens, or think of them like ERC20 tokens, but directly on the Bitcoin network. Now, this is an alternative to the BRC20 standard because the BRC20 standard is not actually a native token standard on Bitcoin. It's more like a layer 2 standard. So I just want to show you this comparison here. This is a screenshot thanks to our close friends at Sora Ventures. These guys are the chads behind a lot of the Bitcoin ordinals and BRC20 and Runes ecosystem. So you should definitely go follow them, Sora Ventures. So this is kind of a piece of research that they've shown me. So look at this layer, right? So this is essentially the current landscape for tokens and NFTs sitting on Bitcoin. So we have the Bitcoin blockchain, right? That's this line. And we have the ordinals protocol. So the ordinals protocol is native on Bitcoin. So you write data directly onto Bitcoin in this way called UTXO. I believe it's called unspent transaction output, right? That's how Bitcoin works, right? So when you send Bitcoin, instead of like on Ethereum where you have like accounts model and you have your transaction history per account, how Bitcoin functions is through UTXOs, where you send certain amount of Bitcoin and that Bitcoin is like it leaves a trail of UTXOs behind, and then that amount then gets spent and spent again. So the ordinals protocol is native to this, where it writes directly into the UTXO layer of Bitcoin. So it's immutable, it's forever. And that's why when you look at these like inscriptions, the first generation of inscriptions, like those early NFTs on Bitcoin, those are native to Bitcoin. Those will be there forever. However, when you look at BRC20s, that's different because BRC20s is essentially like almost like a hack on top of ordinals. So BRC20s, they inject another layer of data on top of the ordinals protocol using what's called JSON. So JSON is a very like typical standard that's widely used in software development, where you have essentially like this extra piece of data that writes on top of the ordinals. So ordinals allow for inscription, essentially writing any data on top of Bitcoin. So you can write like some text, some link, whatever, right? But when you start doing this, essentially what happens is you write this like what you want the token to be on the ordinals layer, but that token itself doesn't actually exist on Bitcoin. Instead, you need like a third-party indexer. You need another wallet to support those indexer in order for people to actually trade these like so-called tokens, BRC20 tokens. And sure, BRC20 has taken off, so most wallets do support this. However, it's not like fully decentralized. And it's when compared to Ethereum ERC20, BRC20 is not directly equivalent. BRC20 is more like if you injected a weird token on top of NFTs on Ethereum. That's what the current state of BRC20 tokens are like. So that's why the Runes protocol is so cool, because Runes directly sits on the same layer as ordinals. So now you have a token standard that creates fungible tokens directly on top of Bitcoin. And this is actually directly comparable to ERC20s on Ethereum. These tokens, once you issue them on Runes, they will be there forever. Just like all ERC20 tokens that are like fairly launched. So this is what's really cool. And of course, you also have like TAP protocol, which will probably gather another wave of attention leading up to Runes. But this month, the main narrative is around Runes. So, okay, now that you know what Runes are, why is Runes very, very bullish this month going into the Bitcoin halving? Let's bring it back a bit. So the Runes protocol, if I can just show you here. The Runes protocol is launching right at the time of the Bitcoin halving event. I'm not sure if I can find the actual post from Casey Ronmar himself. But yeah, you can definitely find this, like just look up like Bitcoin Runes launch date, and it will tell you the launch date of the Runes protocol going live on mainnet is exactly at the block that the Bitcoin halving goes live. So this is paying homage to the Bitcoin halving itself, right? I'm sure I can find this somewhere on the on Casey's Twitter timeline. So once the Bitcoin halving goes live, Runes goes live, and it doesn't get better than that, right? So one of the hottest narratives this month, Runes, directly launches at the Bitcoin halving. So if you want to bet on something of an altcoin sector right after the Bitcoin halving, Runes is the way to go. Okay, now what are some of the things you can buy today then that will give you exposure to the Runes protocol? So I have covered this briefly in our Discord in the past couple of days. So the main one to get is actually these few coins that are currently trading on ordinals and BRC20 standard, but will migrate their tokens over to Runes once it launches. And you can find all of these on Magic Eden. This is the best place to discover them. The main one that I have bought is called Pups, or Rune Pups. This is basically the first meme coin that will launch on Bitcoin Runes protocol. And you can go on the tracker for this. This has already been rallying super hard for the past week. Look at this, going from like $20 all the way up to $80. Currently at 500 million valuation. It is what it is. It's pumped a lot. Will this be like, you know, too high up now? Not necessarily, right? When you consider some of the other ecosystem like WIF on Solana, $2 to $3 billion market cap, and the fact that Runes right now, there is barely any coins on there that is everyone sees is the main coin. I'm still holding Pups. I bought a lot in this like $40 to $50 range, which gives me like about 50% up in my profit right now. But I don't plan on selling this anytime soon, at least not until Runes, the standard, launches. Now, okay, so let me just show you a few ways you can get onto these tokens. So the first thing you need to do is go on Magic Eden. This is a Bitcoin Ordinals and BRC20 marketplace. And you want to connect your wallet. So one of the wallets you can use on here, so connect your wallet. You definitely will need one of these wallets if you want to get on the Runes hype. Do not buy them on centralized exchanges. Do not buy them on, you know, like weird other chains like Solana, derivatives, whatever. Those don't matter, right? You need one of these Bitcoin wallets that support the Runes protocol. Now, the one I'm using is Xverse. You can also use OKX Web3 wallet, that works well. You can use Unisat wallet, that works well. So the one I recommend is Xverse. Okay. And then once you have that, go on Magic Eden and go to the Ordinals page. And you can see a lot of these top coins on here. So you see there is already a tab here called Pre-Runes. Click that. This is essentially the tab that matters. So what pre-runes means is that these projects right here, whether they're NFTs or whatever, these projects currently exist on the Ordinals protocol, but they have fully released a roadmap and said that, okay, we're going to release our things on Ordinals first, but once Runes goes live after Bitcoin halving, we will migrate our current tokens to Runes. And that's why they are called pre-runes. So you really want to focus on pre-runes instead of just like random ones, right? If you want Runes exposure. Now, you can see here the main one, Rune Pups, Runestone. So a lot of people bought into Runestone very early, and this one actually hasn't moved much in this past like month or so. You see, it has like topped out almost because this is quite expensive. So you can also look at the market cap here, 8.6 thousand Bitcoin market cap. This is quite high versus Rune Pups 1.5K. This is relatively lower. So this is one I have already bought. I'm looking at a couple more. So another one that I hear a lot about is this third one, RISC, RISC Meta Protocol. This is also will be transitioning to a Runes token standard later this month. And then a couple more that I have heard people talk about with established teams in the Runes ecosystem. So we have RuneX. This one looks pretty shit, to be honest, the art, but I've heard this team is quite legit in Runes ecosystem. We also have, this is the RuneX tech. You see, this is actually the first pre-rune to launch, and they will have a whole Rune exchange. So essentially, this will be the first exchange live on the Rune protocol, and that's why don't get taken aback by their like shitty NFT art. This is just kind of placeholder. And then we have a couple more. We have these things called Blob Army, Book of Blob. This also looks very interesting because the main team behind this, the main contributors behind this project, these guys, NeuroRealm, Yelock Remark, whatever. These guys are some of the early developers on the Ordinals protocol. So that's why a lot of people are bullish on this project as well as one of the pre-runes. So this is one to watch. What else is there? And if you want like something very, very degen, but very very big and very like flex, you can also get these Bitcoin puppets. So these are essentially the new like almost like Bored Apes of this cycle that will be going on the Runes protocol. So the premier like Bitcoin NFTs is going to be these. But obviously these are super expensive, $30,000 each. I don't expect like anyone to be able to afford these. I myself, I'm eyeing one of these because these haven't been rallying as much as the sort of Runes tokens in this past month, right? Not as heavily, but yeah, if you're into NFTs, this is the main bet here. So all in all, you see, this is what it comes down to, right? You want to buy pre-Runes right now because these things will convert to Runes token standard tokens going into your wallet after the Bitcoin halving. So that's that. That's how you can get exposure right now. Now, this is not the end all be all, right? Because Runes, the protocol itself, hasn't even launched. So once it launches after the Bitcoin halving, what you will start to see is a bunch of tokens that look like these, right? So this is essentially like the ticker standard that will be on Runes. So Runes have this character limit for their token standard. So essentially anyone can create like tokens on top of Runes, and they will be, I believe, like 13 characters maximum length. Don't quote me on that. I forget like what the actual length is. It might be slightly higher. But the main way that people will be releasing tokens and giving names to their tokens is like this. So it will be like all caps. It will have like these dots in the middle in order to denote spaces. So you can have different words because you cannot use spaces. And then you have these. So that's why like once Runes goes live, you'll probably have like, you know, Runestone as one of these. You have like Rune Pups. You have like RISC, you know, Blob Army, whatever, right? You'll have those convert to this token standard directly sitting on top of Bitcoin, mind you. And then there is one other thing that is very, very big in the Bitcoin Runes ecosystem. And that is with, if I can find, yeah, here, right here. So Casey Rodemar himself is also releasing a hard-coded Genesis rune called Uncommon Goods. So this is another one that I'm for sure going to ape into, ape Uncommon Goods, because this is essentially the main coin that Casey, the creator of Runes and Ordinals, is making for the standard Uncommon Goods. So this coin has, you should definitely like go on his Twitter and follow how this coin will release. But essentially, this will be a like open mint for the next 4 years after the halving event. So from this halving until the 2028 halving, this Uncommon Goods token will continue minting for the 4 years, every block. But the supply is not like completely diluted. Instead, every block, this token cannot be divided. So every new Bitcoin block, one Uncommon Good will be minted, which does give the this token, the like official, you know, Runes token, the Genesis rune, a fixed supply. And that supply will be equal to the total number of blocks from this Bitcoin halving to the next Bitcoin halving. So it is like, it's not like hyperinflationary. It does have a cap. It's just linearly issued for the next 4 years. So I think that's quite fair. And this will definitely be interesting to watch. And once this launches, I'll for sure ape. And let me think if there's, yeah, that's basically it. So that's all of the main coins that I'm looking at on Runes. So this is kind of out there. I get it. If you have never done Bitcoin ordinals or BRC20 trading, this will look very new to you. But just, you know, think about some of the main coins that have caught the hype wave in the BRC20 hype wave, right? So you have Ordi, right? 1.4 billion market cap still, and trading on every single centralized exchange, right? Binance, OKX, BingX, whatever, Bybit. And then you have like things like Sats. Here, yeah, you see, these are all on Binance already. So you have even like Rats, you have like a bunch of other like bullshit coins like PayPay on Ordinals on BRC20. So if these things can be 2 billion while they are pure meme coins and launch on the BRC20 protocol, which is not even fully decentralized and not exactly official to Ordinals, even though they use the Ordinals protocol, think about what the next wave will be, right? Where the creator of Ordinals himself is making this new standard directly for fungible tokens to compete with BRC20 and probably replace BRC20. And the fact that he's releasing a coin himself. And you have these like early pre-runes that you can buy right now with already catching up huge, but still only like 500 million market cap. And, you know, like not on centralized exchanges yet. The signs are all there. So yes, it's a little bit difficult to get into. You do need a Bitcoin wallet right now, but that's where the opportunities are. Once these things are fully live, once the Runes protocol is fully live, and once, you know, Binance Web3, you know, OKX Web3 wallet, BigGet Web3, Babby Web3, these guys all integrate Runes, it's over, right? Then like every single exchange user will be able to get into these coins way too easily. Then, you know, the floodgates will open and it will be too late. So that's why, you know, I'm heavily positioning myself in Runes, in these pre-Runes, and getting myself as familiar as possible in the in using a Bitcoin wallet to buy these Runes when it launches, when the protocol launches, but before the exchanges start listing them. So yeah, also like don't confuse yourself. I'm not saying like Ordies or Sats or Rats, whatever, these will come back. I don't think so. I think if these things are continuing to be relevant, like these protocols really need to migrate from BRC20 to Runes. Otherwise, they probably will be replaced. So that's kind of my stance. So I'm not buying any BRC20. I'm not buying like any legacy ordinals. I'm only buying pre-Runes and Runes protocol tokens natively when it launches. Okay, that's it. Hopefully that's not too deep of a rabbit hole, but I really think there's a lot of potential here because if we have seen anything before with BRC20 crates, this is only going to be bigger. So yeah, definitely pay attention to Runes, and that's it. These are the two ecosystems that I am heavily positioning myself on for this month after Bitcoin halving. Number one is zkSync ecosystem. Very few coins on there. I'm mainly buying the Koi Finance token and then waiting for the zkSync token to drop and then speculating there. And then on the other side, we have Runes. So I'm buying these pre-Runes, pubs, Runestone, kind of expensive. We have RISC protocol. We have RuneX, the main central exchange that's building on top of Runes. We have Tap, which is also pretty interesting, launching around the same time. We have Blob Army. We have RuneX. That's about it. So these are just a few coins. And yeah, holding these until Bitcoin halving and Runes launch, and then we'll see what happens. Does FOXY have potential bearing the official meme of coin of MetaMask? Yes, absolutely. So I bought a little bit of FOXY again this morning when it launched at that, I think it was like 150 million FDV-ish. I'm not sure what it's trading at now. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's up a bit actually since our call this morning. Yeah, so I bought somewhere in this range. I tweeted about this as well. Up like 30% so far, not bad. 200 million market cap. I think this is quite low, to be fair. Like compared to some of the other like main ecosystem meme coins. The fact that FOXY is getting like retweeted from Linea and using the official mascot of MetaMask, the Fox, airdropping to MetaMask, right? Using the same like airdrop campaign platform as MetaMask, Interact. being integrated into Linea XP points. Like these are all very, very official partnerships. So I think it's as official as it gets as a Linea meme coin. So that's why like I don't think this is overvalued at all at 200. When you look at like Cock Inu, that's also like already at 400. So yeah, I think this definitely has upside. Can I hold Runestone airdrop for holding 3 NFTs? Yeah, you can do it. Runestone is the main protocol, main coin on Runes, but it's just like a bit expensive. That's the thing. But it should do well. I don't think the upside is as high as Pups. But yeah, they will for sure have conversion to a Runes version. And the developers of Runestone is actually very, very established. They are one of the OGs in Runes as well. Here, Runestones is right here. It's an essential OG project made by Leonidas NFT. So this guy, one of the very first like creators, you know, developers, whatever, influencers, like influential figures in Ordinals in BRC20s. So yeah, Runestone is his project, so definitely will do well. Rune Pups is same as Pups. Yes, it is the same. So you should definitely join our Discord to get the full overview of the 2 versions of this Rune Pups token. So there is a Ordinals version that we have shown on Magic Eden. This is actually a slightly cheaper one because it's Ordinals. The unit price is a bit high. If you don't have as much money to like even afford one, you can buy the BRC20 version called Pups token right here. And this one also trades on, you can find this on CoinGecko as well here. Right here, this Pups token. So this is unit price $68. This is much cheaper. However, keep in mind, so there is a conversion of the Ordinals version of Rune Pups and the BRC20 version of Pups token. Both of these are the same project. They will both convert into this new Runes token. And the exact conversion number you can find on their Twitter. So this is why you should definitely get into doing research on Runes right now. So here it is. So follow their Twitter and you see Pups token. And Pups is the first meme coin on Bitcoin. Here it is. Pups is migrating to Runes with a BRC20 and a Ordinals pre-Rune as mint and burn. So the BRC20 version of Pups will get 77% of the Runes version conversion, while the Rune Pups, the Ordinals version, will get 23%. So what this means is that you have a couple things. You have this version, the one that trades at $68 with a fungible token. If you buy this BRC20 version, you are essentially buying this at $533 million market cap, right? And then divide it by 77%, because all of this token will convert to 77% of the supply of the new token. So when you do this calculation, you have the Runes version of the Pups token at $690 million market cap. Okay, keep that in mind, right? And then you have this Ordinals version, the pre-Rune. This is currently at, what is this? 0.14 times, let's see, 10,000, a little bit over 10,000. Let's say like 12,000, right? So 0.14 times 12,000 supply is, yeah, this is the number in Bitcoin. And then you times that by the Bitcoin price, 70K. So this is the current market cap of the Ordinals version of the Pups. And then this converts again to 23% of the Rune Pups supply. So divide that by 0.23. That gives you here 511 million market cap. This is why I am buying the Rune Pups, the pre-Rune version, the Ordinals version, not the BRC20 version. Because even though the unit price is a bit higher here, you actually get more Pups token when the Runes version goes live. Versus if you buy this like cheaper unit price version. But because this one is much more accessible, because it's like trading on like centralized exchanges already, that's why a lot of people are buying this one. Because this unit price is cheaper, anyone can buy it for like $100, and it's more exchanges. So that's why like this one rallies a bit higher. It's overpriced compared to this Runes version, right? Because like we've done the calculation, if you buy the Runes Ordinals version, you're at 511 million market cap after conversion. If you buy the token version, the BRC20 version, you're already at $690 million market cap after conversion. So yeah, hopefully that math is clear to you. And that's why, I've shown you guys this one instead of this one. So they are the same project, but if you can afford this, if you want to invest like at least $10,000 in this, I would definitely buy one Rune Pup, like this Ordinals version, instead of a lot of this Pups token, because this version is a little bit cheaper. Before I go, 2 things you should definitely check out. Number 1, follow me on Twitter at virtualbacon0x. This is where I drop all my quickest alpha, such as buying FOXY token when it was launching, and even a few days before the listing. We were getting into Pups, we're getting into GRVT, zkSync airdrop, etc. We're getting into Puff and other meme coins, etc. Follow me on there. This is where I drop quick alpha before videos. And then second, make sure to join our Discord with the link in my bio, or go to discord.gg/virtualbacon. This is where I drop in-depth analysis on some of the latest alpha I have, like on FOXY, on Pups for runes, on airdrops, on token sales, as well as market outlook on Bitcoin, on altcoins as well. So check it out. This is a 35,000 member community strong now. You can join with the link in the description. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you on the next video and next live stream.